It's as simple as that anyway. Um, but I will address a few things that I have seen or heard over the last couple of days. Today I haven't really heard much. Really not paid attention to anything, and it's felt so good. It's felt so good. Um, but I have been in contact with Parker Boggs, Harlan County Commonwealth Attorney, and the transcripts that are being read are not
for
every phone call. There's more. And I'm going to read those transcripts that Parker Boggs is going to give me. And I'm going to show them to show they're legit. But there's a reason why those transcripts weren't used in court. Because if they used those transcripts, they would have had to use all the transcripts, including the transcripts with Lucinda Lay. You guys remember Lucinda Lay? We may see her testimony tonight if we get through it fast enough. Lucinda Lay claimed that Ernie spit up blood again. Oh, goodness gracious. Did he really, Muppets? Fake cried. I don't know. I tuned out a little before it ended. Oh, and Griff and Kemper went at it. That's good to hear. Griff and actually Griff did call me today briefly. We didn't last long. We didn't talk about much. He was just confirming something from way back, and I said, "Yeah, that's how it worked. That's how it went," and that was the end of it. The last time I had any interaction with Griff, he was, doing his thing on his channel. So, and I didn't agree with it, and we had a few words, and we don't hate each other, but we ain't having dinner together either. Griff's Griff and Jimbo's Jimbo. So, but yeah, I did hear a little bit about that from somebody else. I forgot about that, but yeah, these transcripts from Lucinda talking to Shelby, woo, baby. I know why they didn't bring the transcripts up. You wonder if you got those transcripts. Not today. We're going to play it. We're going to go over them here. I wonder if somebody would like a copy of these. Are you kidding me? I wonder if somebody would like a copy of these transcripts, and we can role play like they do over there. Somebody can be Shelby and somebody can be Lucinda. It is sickening. The love fest. Oh. Jamie called you the C word. Did you catch that? Did he really? Like during his live? Did he go off during his live again? Is he coming close to busting that heart valve wide open?
Not yet, you dumb son of a bitch. Hey, somebody go over and tell him check out.
Just crazy.
Josh Shanks says hello.
Hello, Shannon. 2.5-hour ride home. Oh, goodness.
He says he's getting transcripts from Lucinda, not today.
The transcripts, paper? Yeah, they're going to be on paper. I'm going to drive down there and pick them up. I'm going to get a copy of them. Love to read the transcripts and do analysis on them. Yeah, that'd be cool. We're all going to go over them. We're all going to go over the transcripts. And not just the ones that make Shelby look innocent. We're going to go over all of them. Yeah, that's right. Oh, goodness. He took the live down. He's been doing a lot of that, Been doing a lot of that, taking those lives down. I reckon, like, a lot of his videos are gone. And I'm telling you what now, he sure bashes other people for dirty deleting.
I ain't dirty deleted, you bald-headed son of a bitch.
That's right, 616 Love. I can get anything anybody else can get. If you were part of that trial, get whatever I want. I'm gonna get whatever I want. Oh yeah.
He's getting them. He done talked. He's getting them from Boggs.
Well, motion of discovery is just a piece of paperwork asking for the evidence presented for an arrest. That's it. But what's in
Not today.
Discovery? What's in that arrest?
He said he's going down there to get them, and he talked to Boggs.
What's in the discovery is the good stuff. There's a lot of it too. Like you don't see. I'll tell you what. You don't see anything from them at all that portrays the convicted, confessed murderer in a negative light. Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know. That's just what he's saying.
Thank you, Sober Girl. I'll check that out.
He said he's going to drive and get them. He said whoever Boggs was is going to give them to him.
And forgive me, I'm going to have to, share the whole computer screen, and that's the way it turned out better last time. So I will miss part of the chat. I'm going to try. Let me scoot this over and see if I can.
Josh Shank says hello, Jimbo.
And then what I'll do is bring up. Let me move this. There it is. Okay. So I'll bring this trial up and play it, and I'll be able to commentate during it because it's not on a share with another YouTube channel, so it doesn't, I don't interfere. Like you have to hear I have to have it unmuted for you to hear it anyway. So that works out better in that regard. So let's throw up. Hey, just pick an emoji, any emoji, if you're ready to watch some of the trial. So, bear with me.
Thank you, Damien.
They are going too far with their doxing. They absolutely are. Absolutely are. They think there's no repercussions for coming to that, but it's coming.
You'll see.
It's coming. All right, let's watch a little bit of this trial. This first part is just like a minute, but we're not going to skip anything. We're just going to watch this little bench conference. Let me turn up my microphone as loud as I can get it there. I'll turn the trial up as loud as I can get it.
He claims he's going to go get.
All right, let me go to sharing screen.
He talked to some Boggs dude, and they're going to give him transcripts or something of Lucinda and Shelby's
okay. Lost
stuff.
permission. System preferences. Goodness gracious. Always live StreamYard open links. Okay. StreamYard. See StreamYard. See Google.
I ain't yelled all day.
Should be good.
So I don't know what he's talking about there. He wants to run that mouth. I'm not.
There we go. We should be good now. So want me to quit Google Chrome and reopen. So if I lose you, I'll come right back.
Somebody should tell him Josh Shanks said hello.
Okay. Did you miss me? All right. Let's do this. Let's try to get started.
Did you get it? Not today.
Screen. Let me. I updated the software, so it should have checked it first.
How did he dox himself?
All right. Can you guys see that trial now? Can you see that? If you can, I'm going to go ahead and just anybody, tell me you can see it, and I'll go ahead and start.
Well, subscribe.
Hey, Haley channel. Is that my cousin, Haley?
Good.
All right. Okay, let's watch a little bit. This is just a bench conference. It won't last just a second, but we're going to show it all anyway.
I just did my beverages. I'm objecting to the questions concerning failing to pay. It's nature one. I would object for relevance. Two, I would object for prejudice and outweighing appropriate value. To say that he's not he hired non-student police.
Who likes the new avatar? There is Josh Shanks.
It's true, but I can stop the yeah, I mean, we're kind of got the week. We are. Everything that goes to bias and credibility is important.
Guys, this is the one that did whatever her name is. What was her name? Martha or somebody? What's her name? Who remembers her name? Anyway, this is the one that pleased Gumbo's wife after they said they've been happily married. You damn right he looks better than Gumbo. Thelmer. Oh, Thelmer. I know somebody would know it. This guy did Thelmer. And they said that they was happily married.
Well, if you heard, they're talking about Ernie's credibility. That way he didn't pay people up at the Bluefield Hell. You've got 3 minutes. Let's get back to the next one. A little longer.
May I say something?
No. If there's a question, you can respond.
Okay. You didn't let me finish the question.
You have a chance, I'm sure.
Okay, that's fine.
Now I have some maybe dumb questions, maybe something for others, so not an everybody here. Do you know where Shelby lived in 2013, thereabouts that February?
In Berea.
Okay. Do you know who he lived with?
It was his wife.
Do you know her name?
Laura.
Do you know?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Shelby. Did you have a romantic relationship with Ronnie King?
With who?
With Ronnie King.
I never met Ronnie King.
You never met Ronnie?
Never met Ronnie King.
Did you have a romantic relationship with Jimbo Collins?
No.
You've never kissed him?
Oh, shit, that's
Do
funny.
you have sex with a man?
No.
That's a damn lie.
So you don't claim to be bisexual or gay?
No.
And you don't have a profile on Lifeout?
No.
Did you date Laura before Shelby married her?
Yes.
Have you dated Pam Ray Stidham?
No.
Have you dated Lucinda, Sydney, Clay?
Yes.
Have you dated Amanda Brown, Amanda Gaylor?
Dated or my wife? Ex-wife?
Either one works.
Yeah.
Dated or my wife?
Did you catch it?
With your story about Shelby first.
Not today. Send it to me.
Yes.
He's not lying right now.
Please.
That kind of got me off topic, so I'll go back over to it. You reported, I'm just going to bring up some things that you reported when you spoke with Marvin and spoke with Detective Courtney. Okay. You reported that a bookshelf was turned over and that Shelby searched for a book that was full of money.
It was a secret hidden compartment book, is what I heard. So that's all I know. There was not really much going on with that.
Hello, Josh.
Except for he just stated that he didn't describe the book. He just said it was one of those compartment things.
You said that Shelby was wearing your
Those
backpack.
questions did tear her up. She got discombobulated.
I don't know if you have a backpack. It's just a little black bag.
Yes, Haley, that's Ernie.
At one point, it's possible that you may have told them that Cindy was Shelby's girlfriend. Do you think you could have been mistaken?
After it's over, I mean, yeah.
I'm using your picture. You want to show me your face and come up on panel? Oh, Jim Blob.
Contacted her, weaved her in. I don't know, but she contacted me and told me a bunch of stuff with Chevrolet. I don't even know that even part of it.
Now, it's interesting
I don't know.
that he said.
I don't know if it's really him. I ain't got nothing against him.
Were they dating?
It's Jimbo I got something against.
She damn well knew that Shelby and Lucinda had struck up a love relationship from behind bars, because that's what.
Okay, not today.
Well, she knew that, and she asked Ernie about it.
Okay.
I don't remember telling that.
So in February of 2013, at the time that this murder was being investigated, Lucinda, Cindy Lay, was at times in a relationship with her.
Okay. I wished it was, though.
You said that Shelby thought his fingerprints were on the door.
The door or the blinds one? It was the blind.
They're trying to clean up.
I can't remember. I can't recall.
Would it be fair that if you don't recall and I say that you said he cleaned up the blood, that's probably true? I don't want to replay it. I've got a transcript to refresh your memory.
Then play it.
I don't know. I don't think he tried to clean up the blood. He slipped in the blood. He told me about him sliding in the blood. Fell in the blood.
So on those shoes that were your
Yeah, he's got it set to subscribers only. He's like that.
Based on what Shelby
On the pants leg, he had blood down it. I don't know what side of the pants leg and all that, but he said when he slipped, he hit the blood or something. It split or something. It's just like.
Well, we know there was no real blood puddle because Mike Hornet says there was. Like, it just wasn't there. So there was no blood to slip in.
You described certain items that Shelby.
Yeah, they was talking today.
Told you came from the crime scene.
Griff is a lead. I'm gonna start streaming him next.
Now, isn't it funny? I'm going to back this up just a little bit. But isn't it funny that she asks Ernie to describe the gun? She don't ask me that shit when I'm on the stand. Pay attention when that comes up. They don't ask me that.
They should have asked you. You wouldn't have known what it was. They should have asked him for DNA too.
Did you report to the police that Shelby told you that he took Ronnie's tapes, security tapes?
Yeah, he said he took security or whatever. I mean, I don't know. But like I said, Shelby was always back and forth. He would say this, he would say that. He would come back and try to fill in gaps. So half the things he said was fake, some half the things was real. That's just what it is.
And you didn't really explain how Shelby got there or how he got away from.
I've heard two different versions. Shelby, after it was all over and everything, he mentioned two different versions. But one is that he parked the car. One, that was nothing really. he said he parked a car. He had a car and he had a truck at one time. And, you know, it just, that's all he said. He never really elaborated on that. And it was a Dodge, what is it? Wagon. It's a Dodge
come
wagon
here.
car.
Is that a dark?
Eating in
No.
the back.
It was, I'm trying to remember.
Mhm.
It's like a station wagon Dodge. What it is. I've had numerous cars. It was Lucinda Lane's vehicle, by the way.
Was that your vehicle or was that Cindy's vehicle?
I just said Lucinda Lane's vehicle.
I just said Lucinda Lazy. Ernie's getting mad. Hi, Kristen.
So, in the story that you've told the police, some guy gave Shelby a ride, you don't know who,
Don't have to put.
but it wasn't you. And you reported that Shelby.
Well, hello, Josh Thelma Shanks. It's Thelma.
Just close the joint screen.
From my story.
I don't know.
He don't know. He don't know.
I can't remember what he said.
That's just like,
I can't remember exact location, but he did say something.
Chin hopper, that's a good one.
Have you ever stated that Shelby's fingerprints came back from a national database?
I don't think so.
Have you ever stated that Shelby's cell phone was at the scene of the crime?
There was a question later on that was asked about that, and I think Jimbo Collins was the one that asked him the question about it.
I asked his
Was,
wife.
him and his wife was present at the time, and he said, don't you know that they can ping cell phones? And then she just, right out of the blue, just said, even if we took the battery out of it, so,
True story.
you know, that's all I know about that.
And you've stated that KSP has your fingerprints. Is that correct?
Yeah, they should have.
And that you had an alibi.
Yes,
No, it was a Dodge Caliber, like a station wagon
And you
looking
stated that
thing,
you
I
had
think.
special
Not the
response
Magnum though, the little bitty
watching
one.
John Palmet.
no,
So you're denying that statement today.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he is, B-Dac.
Back to a couple more things.
Can we go back to the question about paying people?
About what?
About paying people.
No, we're not going back to that.
It's the safety objection on that. Let's move on.
Did you save the file that you allegedly gave to Shelby Michelle in the car?
No, I never seen
That
five.
12-inch file?
Never seen five. Don't know what happened to it.
Didn't give it to the police, obviously.
I don't remember anything about it. He may put it in the bag. I don't know what was in the bag. I said,
And you said Rodney King shot at Shelby Michelle first, correct?
that's what he told me.
And you said that Rodney King had to give him a code for the safe, correct?
He said something about a code. I can't remember exactly.
Well, hello, Mountain
You said you were
Mama.
a bounty hunter,
Hello, everybody that
correct?
tuned
I've
in.
been down here about 17 or 18 years.
And there's no position of bounty hunter in the state of Kentucky, correct?
No.
And you drove Shelby Michelle to Decoy, and he got out of the car and left a gun in the car, but you let him back in the car, correct?
We're listening to the trial.
As he's using the bathroom.
And so, no time on Brother's Day did you report to the police that you were afraid of Shelby Michelle, that he had committed a crime.
I was afraid.
You didn't report that to the police, correct? You didn't report it to Trooper Cottle or anybody at the Roadblock, correct?
No,
And I'll go back just a little bit.
Listening to Ernie's lies.
The internet. You have access to the internet, right? You're on Facebook, for example. And so you had 6 days with internet access to look up things about this crime. And you even said that you looked up some stuff on the internet, correct? That's all the questions I have. And maybe redirect.
Can you redirect? All right, is this witness excused?
Subject to recall, subject to rebuttal.
All right, you may step down, Michelle, you're still subject to recall, so hang around.
Well, That wraps up Ern's testimony.
I believe my next witness will be from my end, 5 minutes, and would set the stage for the next witness if the board wishes to do that after lunch.
Why don't we take a lunch break now?
We're not taking a lunch break, guys.
How's that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, same admonition. I repeat over and over again. Don't talk among yourselves about it. Don't form any opinions about this case. Speak to anyone else about it. If you're first, we can talk about it and report any of that back to me. Otherwise, leave your notepads with your seat. Thank you.
This was just a minute, 30 seconds long, so I'm not going to blow the screen up too big. I guess this is them coming back in from the courtroom from the lunch break. Yeah, Thumper, he was wanting to answer the question about paying wrestlers at the Bluefield Hell event. They wouldn't let him answer it. I don't blame him. Like, it was irrelevant anyway, and the prosecution had asked for it not to be brought back up. So they didn't want it brought back up either anyway.
All right, Mountain Mama, you.
Sandy says make a lot of good points. What'd you say? Oh, yeah, totally a narcissistic trait. Yeah, he really did try to control the what was being said, but you know, the defense.
All right, be seated, folks.
Wouldn't allow.
Jury, have anything to report? No. Okay, very good. All right. Okay. Counsel proof. Come on.
Expedio.
We and Josh Shanks, and we're having a party, guys, a trial party.
7 seconds. That didn't last long.
Don't try to hide nothing, Jimbo. James.
Nope, 6 seconds. This is why I didn't upload everything. Like, there were 5-second videos, 6-second videos, 1-second videos. I sure got crucified for it.
All right, on the record, this afternoon after lunch, and my role for Shelby Shell. Still in the prosecution's case in chief. So call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Commonwealth calls from the Kentucky State Police, Danny Call.
Danny Call.
Okay, I'll check it out, Nia Pat.
True Blue Moon, you're right. There's enough damage done, I think, with credibility issues already. They're not done. They bring up some defense witnesses that just get up and perjure themselves and make it look even worse. That's what I'm saying. Like, other people, just when they lie about Ernie, why lie? I mean, he does enough on his own, right? We're one in 10. You think he does enough hard to himself? He doesn't need to be lied.
Thanks. Have a seat and speak up loudly and clearly, so we can all hear you. All right.
This is Trooper Danny Connell.
Mr. Connell, if you could, will you introduce yourself to the jury?
Yes, my name is Danny Connell. I'm the operations lieutenant at KSP Post 10 Harbor.
All right. In the year 2013,
Can't use that word, William.
February 2013, were you the operations lieutenant at Harlan at that point in time?
No, sir. I was a trooper assigned to Harlan.
Assigned to Harlan, though?
Yes, sir.
Post 10?
Yes, sir.
The questioning that I have for you is really limited in scope. I'm going to ask you specifically about
Yes, sir. That was the only time he's called to the witness stand.
Roadblock that you may not have participated in on or about the latter part of February.
Ernie was a witness for the prosecution. previously we've seen the storytelling of Ernie
Got on Neopats.
with the prosecution side. It was dramatic, hand gestures. He told. They're all on the channel too. If you guys want to go and read and look at those, you know, but he tells the stories about how him and Shelby were on Brothers Day, and there was a child that was Shelby was fixing to shoot, and Ernie tried to get T-boned, and just so sensational.
Thank you, Neopats.
It was, you know, I think that hurt more than it helped prosecution. The storytelling approach.
6 to 6, guys. That's not guilty.
Yeah. Now all these videos are on our channel. The entire trials on the channel. I've even left up the old videos.
You erased some of them
before I uploaded them straight from the disk because I didn't have the software. And those are
guys. He did erase some of them.
Find Williams comment and remove it. No problem.
Somebody should go tell him Josh said hello. Come to check out my new avatar. Jimbo, how you like my new avatar, Gumby? Gumbo? Jumblob? Hang on, guys.
Yeah, we just can't use those words, William. Ladies in the chat here, son. We got to be good, you know? I don't even see it now in the YouTube. You guys must have got him.
That dumb fucking laugh.
Somebody get him. Did they have a Brothers Day very often? I think it was the only Brothers Day ever, as far as I know. Shelby was in prison, you know, all but 1 year of his life. So I think that was the only Brothers Day.
Look at her, Jim Bob.
He does make himself look guilty. I know he does.
He is guilty.
You got it, Cal. Good job. All right, I'm gonna pull up this video here, and we'll see from Danny Cottle. Then we may stop. That ain't it. Wrong thing. Okay, pull up this video, and we'll hear from Danny Cottle, and then we will.
2013. Do you recall participating in any roadblocks around that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With more specificity, I'll ask you, do you recall participating in a roadblock wherein an individual named Ernie Shell passed through?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you familiar with Mr. Ernie Shell?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize him by his appearance?
Yes, sir.
Did you in 2013 recognize him by his appearance?
Yes, sir.
In the latter part of February 2013, specifically between February 20th
Yes, April. We've already played the Shelby confession.
Did you
Actually, it's coming up again soon.
where Ernie Shell passed through and you visualized him?
Yes.
Probably hear it again.
Was there only one time in that time period where that occurred?
Yes, sir.
Okay. During that time, did you observe Ernie Shell as a passenger, as a driver? What did you observe?
He was the driver.
Okay. How many people were in the vehicle?
2.
Who was the other individual in the vehicle?
Shelby Shell.
Shelby Shell.
Yes, sir.
And by Shelby Shell, are you referring to the defendant here today, the stable?
Yes, sir.
So Ernie Shell and Shelby Shell passed through a roadblock of Kentucky State Police that you participated in at the end of February 2013.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At any point in time,
Let him know he should check out my new avatar.
whether or not such an incident had occurred by colleagues of yours with Kentucky State Police,
Yes, sir.
and who would have asked you that?
Detective Mike Corey.
Okay. Do you know in what regard? Why was he asking you that information?
He asked if Ernie and Shelby came through the roadblock on that night, and I said yes. And then he went on to tell me that he had had contact with Ernie and about the conversation he had with Ernie. And That's it.
Okay, and you did say that, yes, you had seen them through that roadblock.
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Any
Pass the
cross? Any cross?
Hang on just a second, guys.
You didn't.
Thing. As far as my character, Ernie's character, and he, he was familiar with Ernie when he came through that roadblock, I'm sure, and he could tell he wasn't drinking, and he just said, "Go on through, Ernie." So, I don't know. Ernie didn't make an effort to try to get out of the car or anything, but I don't know if he'd acted like he was impaired in the least bit, maybe he would have been taken out of the car and could have been, then he could have had an avenue to say, "Hey, my brother just told me he's killing people," So, never know what could have happened or what.
They're not on the bed.
But anyway, Trooper Cottle knows Ernie and he knows me. And Harlan's a small town. He knew pretty much everybody. All the people his age in that area. So no surprise there that he knew Ernie. And like I said, he worked security for us, myself, and at Ernie's events a couple of times. Those couple of events he ran. So, but anyway, now we'll see from Mike Cornet.
Mike Corn.
Ernie Shell and him wishing to speak with you. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right. He has since testified here today, so I'm going to ask you some questions. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Cornet, we continue to progress through this investigation of which you're leading.
Janie Taylor, why didn't Shelby what?
And the last that we'd spoken here in front of the jury, you were informing us about Ernie Shell and him wishing to speak with you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Hey, you Gumbo
He's since testified here today, so
pros, tell him I said hello, and Josh Shanks, my new avatar, says hello.
What stuck out to you as
He led the fifth.
he's telling you these things that he wanted to inform you of?
Probably his lawyer wouldn't let him take a stand, I think.
With that interview,
Some of the things he was talking about. The main thing
Yeah, you'll probably get deleted. They're
is the information
cowards.
provided
Jimbo's a coward.
pertinent.
He started this and wants to deny it.
At that time, I hadn't really discussed the crime scene with anybody. Hadn't made any of my written report.
Yeah, Justified was
But
awesome. I love that show.
through my years of investigating, you always keep something to yourself. If a witness comes forward, if they have information that you've kept to yourself and not put out, that kind of adds validity to their information they're providing. I never made any sense or told anyone about the zip ties that I saw at the scene. And when he had particularly mentioned the zip ties being broken, that led me to believe that he had pertinent information that may be truthful. Part of also trying to, see whether he's truthful or not is I talked to Trooper Danny Call, Lieutenant Call, to see whether or not it was truthful that he had come through the road check with his brother, Shelby Shell, and that proved out to be true. He also brought a gentleman with him, James Collins, information. I took a statement from him, and they were each questioned and interviewed separately. And
yeah, I know. I'm listening.
So, okay, so you've introduced now for your testimony an individual named James Collins, correct?
Yes.
The first time you spoke with James Collins concerning this investigation, when was that?
Jim, I got no damn life brought out for everybody. Shortly after I interviewed Ernie Ship.
Listen at this guy. This is
exactly. Kim, that's exactly what I said earlier. You're exactly right. One rope sub. Thank you, sweetheart. That's exactly what I said earlier. Before that idiot coming here a while ago talking about I stepped off the show. Why did I leave when it got hot whenever Matt Kemper went questioned?
he did leave.
That right there is
He
exactly
keeps saying he got kicked off. He just left like a pussy.
Take that. And what's going to be bad about it, that one rope sub might get on somebody that just kind of resembles. See what I'm saying? It could be false. It could be a mistaken identity.
This be Griff.
That's how these people are going.
Big Griff.
That's exactly what I was trying to say before I got interrupted or got my attention got taken away from me. So.
That's Griff right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was leaving. He claimed he got kicked off.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that day? You're right. You're right, Lennon. That day when the Stan come on there, you remember that show? I never said anything bad about Stan. I told him I was not going to let him on the show. I didn't want to have this like this because I didn't want him to misinterpret what I was saying. Do you remember that day? Do you remember that? Exactly what I know what you're talking about now. But remember, I did not let him come on that day. Everybody kept saying, "Why did I let him on?" I didn't.
Because you're a pussy, just like Jimbo.
Okay, so give me a distance in time between talking to Ernie Shell and talking to James Collins. Do you recall about how long this took place?
A little 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they both came together.
They came, where did they come to?
Came to the Kentucky State in Harlan. Came together.
All right. And is it true that you had stated previously concerning Ernie Shell coming, that you had actually arrived there from your house because this was the early hours of the morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what time are we talking about here?
After midnight, between midnight, around shortly after midnight, the interviews started taking place around.
He kept wanting to overtalk everybody.
I don't have the exact time written down here. On the
Yes, Jen, I was very aware too.
It was not directed toward him. Remember that?
Ernie Shell.
Ernie Shell. Okay.
And I'm glad you brought that up. If that went on, I did bring it up when I brought the point about it. And eventually, then we think,
did you do so?
the screenshot of the statement stuff made
I have no further questions.
to him about the show going on his fault. Everything is.
KK out of Beauty and Crime, thank you.
Mr. Cornick, you said you got there at 12, midnight on the 25th. That's well, I think 12:06 is what I was that at post 10? Or was that at post 10? Yes, sir. Okay. But
James, they're talking about me, Haley, Jimbo.
I got a dick stuck in my throat. That's what he sounds like. That's what you should say, Jim Bob.
Sheriff Marvin Gifford at the time was the star of a show, Kentucky Justice.
Pay attention to this.
I don't know if it was at the time. He did have a show, Kentucky Justice, but I don't know what time frame of the show was. So he was on television. I don't know if it was. If he's on TV at this time.
He was not.
He has been on TV, yes.
And the defense knew he was not.
Subsequently, that sheriff. I'll move on.
Yeah, he's live. Griff is live. Over there talking about us.
Move on. You're lying.
See, he cut it off, guys. He cut it off. Said he's lying.
Okay. All right. Let me read back a couple of messages. Very important to note that the zip ties, nobody knew there were zip ties used except for the killer, Shelby Shell. He told Ernie he used zip ties. He told me he
You
used zip
sure
ties.
about that, Jim
He
Bob?
said it in the confession. Confession, he used zip ties.
Who's
Yes,
worried
Jim
about
Bob,
the
Judge
confession,
Bob
Jim
never
Bob?
filmed a minute in Harlan County, Kentucky.
Who cares about the
It was
confession,
just
Jim
pathetic.
Bob? Yent's could have known
Shelby
about the
didn't take a
zip
stand
ties
because,
too.
I'm sure his lawyers wouldn't let him take a stand.
I'm pretty sure if it was a setup, the Ernie Shell knowed about the zip ties, because Ernie Shell is the only one that claims to be a bounty hunter, guys. And you know what they use to, if they can't get their handcuffs out? Do you want to know what they use if they can't get their handcuffs out? Zip ties.
Tried to approach the judge several times, and the judge told him to sit down and let his lawyers do his talking. Still looking back.
See, that's bounty hunters,
I
and
jotted down the zip
Ernie
ties,
always claimed to
checked
be a
out,
bounty hunter.
and Ernie said he went through the roadblock, and he checked with Danny Cottle, and that checked out. So, they checked on him to see if he was telling the truth about anything, and he was. He's a storyteller, and like I said, I would love to know the length of time that it took for him to tell the story at the Kentucky State Police Post, because I felt like it was a couple hours, and I felt like my statement took 15, 20 minutes tops. Shelby didn't tell me all that stuff that supposedly he told Ernie. He said Ronnie was so strong, but Ronnie's adrenaline, if you're duct taped over your mouth and face and nose, could you imagine how strong you would be? Like, you're fighting for your life. Every ounce of strength you can muster up.
He sounds like he's talking because he knows, guys.
Shelby also the only one who knew about the pillow. Yes. He didn't even mention that yet. But yeah, he said he put a pillow to his head and pow, that's his exact words. So yeah, and they do have a lot in common. Wanted to run a show, and I bet his lawyer's like, sit down. Yeah, you're right. His lawyer did tell him sit down a couple times. The judge told him to sit down a couple times. But Kentucky justice, they're trying to paint it out like Ernie wanted to write a book and tell a story about a murder, and he wanted to contact Marvin Lipford because Marvin Lipford had this show on TV. Well, the show on TV didn't air until December of 2013. And they knew that. But they threw it out there and put it in the jury's mind. It was dirty.
See, he's taking up for Ernie again, guys. A 6-6 hung jury is not guilty.
That's disgusting.
And
That's disgusting.
Bounty, like I said, well, you're disgusting, Blob. You're disgusting. Now listen, guys. Bounty hunters, and some cops use them. And I'm curious of what color they are. I mean, they use zip ties if they can't ain't got handcuffs.
There was no Kentucky judge. Ernie called Chris Brewer, who was a deputy, who was a friend of Ernie's since he was a baby.
Evening, Jackie.
He still is, and he's running for sheriff now. And I hope he wins. He's a good man.
I hope he don't, because you
Chris
know him.
Brewer
because he's probably
talked to Marvin Lipford. So he said, he put him in contact with Marvin. Marvin said, "Hey, we need to talk to Mike Cornett. You need to meet us at the state police post. Talk to Mike Cornett." There never was anything said to Marvin Lipford about the case. Like,
I had
about
said
confession, about nothing. But they make it out to like
came to light.
Marvin Lipford we went to Marvin Lipford because he wanted to run a TV show. No. We wanted Shelby arrested because he murdered somebody. How hard is that to believe?
very hard.
Really?
Because
I want y'all know.
You and Ernie set him up.
Blocked calls today. I've got a bunch of emails from people blocked calls trying to call me during my live stream. Gotcha. So yeah, that could have been a great show too. It was a great show until it was. It makes me sad. Did you watch it, Blue Moon, Kentucky Justice? I enjoyed it, because it was, real life from Harlan. I'm from Harlan. I didn't live in Harlan then, but it was fun to watch. In your opinion, was it only Shelby Shell that did this, or do you think he had help?
Don't start backpedaling.
Right now, I think Shelby Shell did it all by himself because he didn't mention anybody else in his confession. Not a single solitary soul.
Yeah, because he was scared, Jim Bob.
And I'm going to wait and see if this Dodge Caliber drives by from Ronnie King's house like the defense tells the jury in their closing arguments that a Dodge Caliber.
Listen at him. He's backpedaling, guys.
Drives
hey,
from
Michelle.
Ronnie King's house right by the funeral home. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to watch that video. I'm going to challenge you guys when the video comes on. You tell me when you see this Dodge Caliber. If we see it, then my opinion will change.
You already stated it a while back, you dumb fuck.
All right, you guys ready to watch it a little more? All right. Let's bring some more.
He's changing his story, guys. Go back to listen at all his past shit to what he talks about. And his stupid mind forgets about all this stuff.
No more about the TV show until the closing arguments.
Make fun of him, Jim Blob.
Insane. Yeah, I watched it all too. I watched every bit of it. Like, I don't remember it now, but
You never remember, Jim Blob.
Pretty fun, pretty cool. Especially seeing people I knew, like Chris Brewer and some of those other deputies. I knew them, so it was fun.
Yeah, you knew him. Yeah.
We're gonna listen to that confession. It may come up tonight. Like my testimony might be coming up soon.
Exactly, B-Dac.
We may hear the confession coming up here real soon. Yeah. Kevin said that they held him for 9 days because they said it was a white car.
Oh, God.
The actual state police investigator says it was a white car. That Dodge Caliber they said Ernie was driving was a black car. Pretty hard to mix up white for black when vehicles come.
He's trying to manipulate it all, guys. And I said this the other day, whenever he turned, he's going to try to manipulate it. And that's exactly what he's doing. Go back, guys, from the time the stand started and watch the videos. Watch the videos, and you'll see what kind of narcissist and liar this guy is. Now, since he met at McDonald's with his boyfriend.
With Margaret first, and then you all met on the post tab. Is that how I understand it? That's how I understand it. You got there, and the interview started sometime after 1 in the morning. Yes, sir. Thereabout. Yeah. Yes, sir. I have more questions, but I'm going to ask you later.
We'll see, Sandy. I don't know. Black car looks white.
No, there's no.
A white car looks black in a black and white video. Really?
Situations here that he will be recalled.
I'm doing okay.
I'm taking the front. I'm taking the damn leg. I'm taking it all.
Oh, yeah, next witness.
The truth is, like you were talking about, Jim, but he said, hey, Griff, he said the truth is boring. Yeah, it's just boring. It can be.
I agree, Country Girl. That's where I'm standing right now.
To people that would rather not hear the truth, look, I know monotony, complacency, But not that it causes complacency. It causes people to get
Look
hurt.
at him.
Use the same routine over and over.
He's over there
Like that.
whining
Drama
with
in
his
your
little
life.
22.
I mean, everybody needs a little change. A little excitement.
Like I said,
A little bit chaos.
Oh, John, how are you, buddy?
That's the way somebody should go at Jimbo. Say, what's up, Jimbo? And then tell him.
Jimbo's getting ready to take the stand.
Oh, James Collins. Here we go. Everybody should call him and tell him.
Somebody whisper. Whisper.
Mr. Collins, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm any testimony given this trial to be the whole truth and the truth? Take your seat there. Please speak up loudly and clearly.
Yeah, they're terrified.
Good afternoon, Mr. Collins. Would you spell your name, full name, please, for the record?
James Collins, JAMES, COLLINS.
And would you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury who you are and where you live?
I'm James Collins. I live in Corbin, Kentucky. Retired disabled, father of 4.
You recall back in February 2013 coming into some information.
Thank you, Miss Lee. Yes, sir.
Would you,
I was very nervous.
would you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
You was nervous like a little bitch.
Yes, I actually know his brother, Ernie Shell. We met several years before that. I've known Ernie probably 15 years. We met actually pro wrestling. We both were pro wrestlers. Then we started promoting MMA events, some together. So I would help him, he would help me.
Go to Florida and let's do hurricane season. You want to?
Formed a friendship over the years. And thank you, Thumper. That's how I met his brother, Shelby. Ernie introduced us. I was not calm. Shelby fought on one of my events a long time ago, probably in the early 2000s.
He was nervous because he knew he was alive.
What do you mean, Shelby fought?
He was an MMA participant.
Some of us may not know exactly what MMA is.
He was a mixed martial arts participant, in like cage fighting. But like I said, I didn't really meet him then. He signed up and fought. There's been several hundred men that have fought for me that I don't didn't know on a personal level.
In what area? Where would you put on these?
That particular event was in Harlan County, Kentucky. It didn't really bother me to testify for Shelby. Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio.
And
You just admitted that you was nervouser than a whore in church.
I felt bad for you. Actually, it was probably 2012, late 2012. I remember it was around Thanksgiving. Ernie had brought Shelby over to my house and introduced him to me and my family and my mother.
Yeah, I had her. You had him to burn your house down.
He was looking for work and whatnot, things like that. So I hired him to do some jobs and let him work around my house some. And I actually loaned him money a couple times. Let me say this. Shelby absolutely treated me like a friend. He was never
more than Ernie.
My family, never. This caught me completely off guard. I did not enjoy it. It really, it broke my heart. For the King family and to know that Shelby was capable of doing something like that, I'd known him for a couple months and I was starting to trust him, and he was working around my house. So yeah, I was nervous testifying. I wasn't nervous because of Shelby.
Yeah, you was. You know you was alive.
If Shelby got out tomorrow, I wouldn't be afraid of Shelby. Now, I'm afraid of a gun. But I'm protected myself now too. So it is what it is. But I don't think I'll ever see Shelby face to face. I
Well,
don't think he's ever going to get out of prison. He's set to get out 2039. But he's always in trouble. He's always getting, in more trouble.
You don't know if he's been in trouble lately or not, Scumbo.
I don't expect to see him. By the time he's out, I will be in Florida. And if he makes his way down there looking for me, then he's, he's going to get what he's looking for.
Yeah, that works both ways, Scumbo.
Yeah, it really bothered me it really bothered me that he told me this. Like, he thought I was okay with it.
Exactly.
So, in February 2013 is when, yeah, Hakuna, we had a 9 o'clock start tonight. Borrowed money from me, I remember, and then I actually had him and Ernie both came over and they helped me move some furniture.
You mentioned you were disabled. You said you had a disability.
Yes, I am disabled. My back and neck. You can see the scars on my neck right there.
This year.
But when you look into the widespread statistics,
Ernie and Shelby both came over. I don't remember what I paid them. I know I gave them some money.
This would be after Christmas, January, February, or
this would have been in February. And anyway,
he told me that it was real.
He was. Lost my train of thought.
I'd asked you about moving, and then we started talking about that you needed him to help move because you were disabled. And so he helped you. I think you said he helped you move in February.
He did. Well, yeah. And anyway, they helped us move furniture. The reason why that's relevant here is one night, I don't remember the date. I know it was in February. Shelby.
Of course you don't remember.
Came to my house, and Shelby was very vocal about a robbery he had committed, and had let it be known that he also murdered the man.
Before we get into that, and let me ask you, during the time that he helped move at your house, were there any, did you have anything go missing?
Yes, and that's what I was trying to tell you. With this, it all goes together because I didn't realize anything.
He's done played this. See, he's going right back to it again.
I had talked to Ernie and I told him, I was like, let me check and see, if he's got a gun. He was in my house. I know. In particular, I remember he asked to go use my bathroom.
I had to walk him off.
My bathroom was in my bedroom.
I had to go outside and walk on that.
Private bathroom in that house. So
I was mad.
Anyway,
not walk off.
I checked my underwear drawer.
Several times to allow Matt Cameron.
And, that was some of the things that were moved in drawers and shelves. So I checked my drawer, and I had a 38 special pistol revolver, and it was gone. A brand new box of shells with no shells missing. Never been used. I bought at Walmart, Hollow Point. 38 special shells.
Well, I appreciate all y'all. Kim, I appreciate you.
And those were missing.
Those were missing. It's our box.
When did you discover that?
I discovered that after talking to Ernie, and Ernie had told me that he thought his brother had robbed. By the way, when they arrested Shelby, he had a box of Hollow Point.
Every one of y'all.
38 shells.
I think good. Teresa Leonard, thank you.
And Ellis was mayor.
Appreciate you.
Former mayor.
Jimmy, love you, sweetheart.
Did you have the occasion?
Y'all gotta get together, man. We're not gonna get along with everybody.
We're not gonna
I mean, he was in my house several times, but
we can make the same function.
We talked about. I was freaked out, Miss Lee. I really was. Me and Ernie had come by, and it was in the evening.
Be better than what we're working with.
It was probably late February, mid to late February,
What it's all about.
Anyway, Ernie and Shelby came in. We went down to the basement. We talked. And Ernie was talking. Shelby was talking.
Yeah, for y'all great.
Shelby,
I love y'all. Y'all be careful.
Said that he was looking to get some money. Asked me if I knew anybody he could rob.
Keep your head back. Keep your wits.
And
y'all everything talk about me. Y'all email.
At this point, he's openly discussing robbing people, and and I know now that my gun's missing, I'm figured. So I told him I don't know anybody that that has that kind of money that he specifically said I need to hit a big league. So I don't know anybody that what his terminology is. Yes, I need to hit a big league. Said he had child support payments and other things that he needed to pay.
Had you ever loaned him any money for child support?
I have loaned him money before, yes. $70, I think, a week before that.
Paid back.
Not yet.
I'm never gonna get that $70.
Did he talk much about the situation there in Everett?
Well, like that money I gave Jamie.
Yes, he went into some detail.
Purple Hearts, what do you think about it?
He was.
Who you talking to? What do you think about Josh Shanks?
Went to the man's house. He said
That's Josh Shanks right there. He says hello.
Said that
I got a feeling
he said the man was gay, and that he could get into his house, got into his house by telling him he was there to have sex with him, sexual intercourse, and that's how he gained entrance into the man's home. Is he led him to think they were going to have sex with each other.
I mean, this right here.
Did he describe anything that he took that he was able to get at the house, or was it
But at the same time, I don't want to get on his job.
Well, he told me that.
But it's still sick.
Told me the man,
he pulled on people ain't true.
Was naked, and that once he got naked, he began to rob him, and he got physical. He said,
if you're a troll for Jimbo, go tell him, check out my new avatar.
So then he duct taped him. He said he stuck duct tape in his mouth, and duct taped his mouth shut, nose shut. He said he even tried to kill him that way, and the guy was just too strong to follow through.
You got movies out there where they come that way, where it's like
grabbing a pillow, putting it over his head, and shooting.
The man behind the screen.
He did say that he tried to sell me things that he robbed.
Psychological effect on that.
He got in the robbery. He tried to sell me things early in the week. I didn't know
You ain't seen Obsessed yet.
before he talked about murder.
You're nothing but a bully. So's Jim Bob.
He brought me he had a jar of old wheat pennies. There may have been other old money in it, but I know it was pretty much full of wheat pennies. Old pennies, from the early 1900s.
like a glass jar, a mason jar?
Yes. I think it was a mason jar. It was a big glass jar, probably
Is that a channel, Kim?
8, 12 inches tall. And it was completely full of old
Is
money.
that a channel?
And, he asked me what I'd give him for it. I told him, it's worth 1 penny a piece to me. I'm not a money collector. I couldn't do anything with it.
He's done played this.
So he kept that, and he tried to sell it to somebody else. And I told him I didn't need the ring or any jewelry.
Describe the ring.
It was mangled. I couldn't tell you anything about it. It was.
Can you send me a link for that?
He told me he took a hammer to it and tried to make it work.
Did you buy anything from him?
I did not.
Anybody else want to talk about the
I didn't want to buy anything stolen from someone in a robbery.
name of a girl or something?
Were you
concerned?
Oh yeah, I was very concerned. I've got 4 children. At that time, 4 years ago, my oldest would have been 11. My youngest would have been 5. So, 4 young children, and my elderly mother, who's passed on now, lived in the house with me.
That's when you talking about
Very fearful.
you talking about what happened to her?
Do you recall anything else that he said that night? And who was there? You was there. You was there. Shelby was there, and his brother
Ernie Shell was there.
Y'all were down in the basement.
Yeah. Ernie had apparently been to Harlem with Shelby that day.
You know,
in their vehicle.
Brother's Day. That's something, you're right.
And they stopped by.
I don't like
They came by my house on the way home. Shelby lived in Madison County. And I guess Ernie was going to take him home.
Thank you, Thumper. And you let
It's hard to try to.
Thank you, Bumble.
They want to spend it, you know.
He seemed to be
And I'm not saying that that's right to condemn it anyway. Don't get me wrong.
Shelby acted strange? No, I mean, he wasn't really, he was just,
I'm just gonna tell you.
matter of
My
fact,
child, I'll be handling things.
it was almost unreal that he, there wasn't any remorse.
It's not that I'm saying that
Just
it's
like-
wrong. I'm not saying
Like
that
he'd been to work or something,
this child could have easily,
another day for him.
this child
Still no
could have easily
remorse.
walked down one of the hills during the summertime
Was he
and easily.
secretive about it? Not secretive at all.
Tell you about it, or tell you how you'll be
It can't
sorry.
happen. You cannot lie.
No, not secret at all. He asked me bluntly if I knew anybody else he could rob. He had no fear or no remorse. And that's, I talked to Ernie after they left, and so we got to do something. And Ernie was wanting to get out of his presence as well, and we were going to go to Harlan that night and talk to the police.
Did you say anything about his brother Ernie? Any intentions or anything? Did you say anything about Ernie in your presence that night? Or later?
Later on the phone, he said, Ernie, the next morning I actually talked to Shelby on the phone and got a recording of it. He said that Ernie acted funny, but no, not that night. He didn't tell me anything about Ernie.
Shelby said Ernie was acting funny.
Yes.
Did he say what he was going to do about that?
I don't recall him saying anything to me about that.
You never know, Jim Blob. Is your ire about up?
So you talked to Ernie and you all were concerned. Is that what you're telling the jury?
Yes, we were definitely concerned, and Ernie returned to my house later that night, and we discussed it and everything. We went to Harlan County. We left Corbin, went to Harlan County.
That very night.
Yes, sir.
Very night after he was there and telling you what he got.
Yes, sir. We met with Detective Cornett, and
Detective Cornett here.
yes, sir, Detective Cornett, and it was the sheriff of Harlan County at that point. He said his name, I know it. I can't remember his name.
That's okay.
It's
We met with Detective Cornett
yes,
and with the sheriff of Harlan County.
Sheriff.
All the time.
yes, both were present.
You all had reached.
Marvin Ledford.
And so, I don't want to put words.
Right, I understand.
And so, did you give a statement to Detective Cornett?
I did.
When you gave your statement, was anyone else present?
Only Marvin Ledford. We took Ernie and I gave separate statements.
So you didn't, your story was your story, and you were questioned individually, and Ernie was questioned individually.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You said it was after midnight?
I would say it was after midnight, yes, sir.
1 a.m. or something like that.
Yes.
In that, given that statement, and when you were cooperating.
I got it beyond.
With trying to try to keep from anything else happening. Did you have any other concerns? Anything that Ernie, that Shelby had told you about killing any other people?
Actually, Shelby had bragged about killing 9 people to me. He said, it's easy for him. He gets a thrill out of it. I didn't really, I didn't believe that. I don't understand that, so that's part of my non-belief. But
when he was telling you about killing Ronnie King, did he seem to be getting a thrill out of telling you that?
yes, he was very excited. He was, I would say, amped up. He was, moving around, and he was very excited.
So, as soon as you can, you go to Harlan and contact law enforcement.
Yes, and we both give our statements, and
During our statement, I told Detective Cornett that night, Shelby was very open, and I'm sure I could get a tape recorder and ask him about it. He would be very open again. I was positive of that.
And he was.
Yes, sir.
Did you tape Shelby Shell when he called you?
Yes, sir.
Did you give that conversation, that tape, and that recorder to Detective Cornett?
Yes, sir. As soon as I hung up the phone with Shelby and the recording was complete, I called Detective Cornett, told him I had the tape, and Detective Cornett immediately came from Harlan through Corbin and picked up the cassette. Him and another lady, a state trooper.
Your Honor, if I may, I wanted to ask the evidence officer.
Absolutely. Did you catch that? It's foolish for people to do that. The King family is absolutely going to hate that. If they were to set Shell free, do you imagine what the King family would do or how they would feel?
They couldn't do nothing. He's done his time, Jim Bob.
Thank you, Haley. And let's move on. Actually, before we move on to the next one, we're going to hear Shelby's confession. Any questions I can cover?
God damn, you done played it over and over. Quit trying to
I don't believe you
manipulate it.
Anything other than a troll. I'm just going to say that up front. I think you're here. You're here to cause a little bit of trouble. Disrupt, like all these phone calls that are being forwarded to voicemail automatically now. Woo, how you like that, Jamie boy? But anyway, no,
Well,
I've never been to Shelby's house.
Well, like I like this right here, Jim Bob. Just like I like that right there. I like that right there, Jim Bob. That's how I like it.
Like I said, he was always super
Don't bother me.
super respectful, and just like he is on the phone with not today. But even when he's telling me, you can hear. Even when he's telling me he killed a man, like he's all cool about it. Like, hey, buddy, I just killed this dude. This is how I did it.
That's because he thought he was playing a prank on you, Jimbo.
Cold and calculated, man.
I tell you, I don't think he killed him. I think Ernie Shell and Jim Blob and Kevin Dixon had something to do with it, guys. He's played it over and over and over. He's playing it like that. That way he makes it look like he's got content. That's all he's worried about.
What I'm saying is there is no call log.
I've heard your objection. So to identify, authenticate it some way. That's something.
What's the best one? And that was my and that's my motion. So
They're trying to object to my phone call recording, and it just got overruled. Yeah, good try, buddy.
I'd ask you to present what you have in evidence to the witness to see if he can recognize it and identify it.
I agree, Blue Moon, Kentucky. Definitely some love going there. I'm going to get my attorney to get some transcripts from prison of those phone calls.
We're going to have some on my way home from meeting with the state police in Harlan, Kentucky. I purchased this at Walmart in Corbin and took it straight to my house.
And is that on that recording device, does that contain your conversation where Shelby Shell called you?
Yes.
On your telephone? And you recognize his voice, and you recognize his ID on your phone?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would introduce this.
Yeah, he said he killed 9 times, but he said they were all in prison and they were on his record. It's all lying. I knew he was lying. He ain't no serial killer. a shell. He lies a lot. That's what he does. That's what he does best.
Measure the objections that were posed. It would be appropriate to ask the jury to stay.
Thank you, Downtown Trina. Welcome.
No masquerade. I've never been to Shelby's house.
Let's do it that way.
Never been to Shelby's house.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a brief little
So the jury has to leave while
outside of your presence.
play the recording.
So I'm gonna let you step out for about 10 minutes while we do that. Some things we have to do outside the presence of the jury before we go further. So please, same admonition as before. Don't form any opinions or talk to anyone about any of this. And just wait outside and we'll bring you back in.
Yeah, guys, hit that like button.
He's begging for viewers, guys.
Thank you, Malibu Sky. It's good to see all those little logos that's from members in the chat. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single one of you. And even the ones who aren't members, I appreciate you subscribing and being here.
Okay. All right. Now.
They're going to have to ask him that way he sees it.
Let's wrap the jury as down the board. I think the appropriate thing to do now is to listen to it. Listen to it outside the presence of the jury and see if it can be authenticated from.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. How could we, and you see that microphone in front of you. We have to be careful about getting it close enough or not too close or not too far away, but let's try to see where we get the best.
Thank you. I love you guys. I don't know how many more times he's going to play this. Exactly. I'll tell you why he didn't. Because they threatened to put him in life in prison. That's why he took the plea deal. They told him that if he didn't, he was going to get life in prison. What would you do? Would you take the plea deal or would you take that chance on them putting you in? Yeah, I've seen it. or would you take that chance and them finding you guilty and putting you in prison with life? First, it was the death penalty, but that got off the case. But they threatened him with all kinds of stuff, and he would have got life. I seen your question, Beyond. Yeah, but I mean, it never said nothing about. No, he wouldn't have had. They took and told him that they threatened him to. They threatened him. They threatened him down. And so you're telling me that if they threaten you and you get scared and you don't take a plea deal, you're going to just say, Ernie done it. So let's just take that chance. They threatened him. It's done been proven too many times. 35 other felonies they threatened him with. He wouldn't have walked. He'd got life. And Shelby got scared. So no, he wouldn't have walked. Ernie and Jimbo, they know what happened. Exactly. I believe he did, Crash. He sure did.
That was sick.
That recording and that device. Yes. Did you recognize the number of the person that was calling you at the time?
Yes.
And who was that?
Shelby Shell.
And had you talked to Shelby Snell previously, and did you recognize his voice on that recording?
Yes.
Why did he call you?
I had called him previously, trying to get him to talk about that. But I had had several phone calls with him over the several
But
weeks.
that's probably part of the
Like I said, I
prank.
had to come in and
The pranks,
work at the
guys.
house and
That goes back to Ernie telling him to say this stuff and let's play a prank on Jimbo. Jimbo's forgetting about that.
You know the date of this recording? I'm trying to lay the foundation.
And they're still stiffing people.
He's playing the foundation.
At the time you made this recording, what was the date?
I couldn't tell you the date. I know it was the day after we went to Harlan.
You went to Harlan.
The morning after we went to Harlan.
You went to Harlan on the 25th of February.
Okay, so that would have been the next morning.
26th.
Yes. No, it was actually the 25th. Because it was the night of the 25th.
They threatened him, Don. I've done heard the trial, done seen the transcripts of the trial and everything. They threatened him. That is not that is not the truth. You are not telling the truth. They threatened him. They told him plainly. Even Jimbo stated that they what 35 other counts. That's why he took the plea deal. Even Jimbo himself said that. Don. I'm not going to argue about it. I've seen it. It's been played thousands of times. I'll tell you why it's been played thousands of times, because Jim Bob wants to manipulate it to make it look like it wasn't no prank. Jimbo is a prank.
I didn't want the jury hearing it until we got some foundation and some foundational evidence in the record.
I think Jamie's streaming. Find out which account is Jamie.
I think sufficient.
You can't block me from YouTube, you sucker. You'll not get rid of me, Jim Blob.
Your objection's overruled.
And the judge did not ask him if he had been threatened. Not well, from what I've heard.
All right, so let's bring. We're ready to bring the jury in, and then you can move to introduce it. Bring the jury back in.
One down was Tammy. Did we block her? Go back to see. Meet her in the
The ruling is it's sufficient. It's authenticated and it's admissible as what it purports to be.
Where did you send it?
I don't know what number we're up to. 8. It would be almost
Okay, I got it.
Exhibit 8.
Funny that Jamie doesn't have any content whatsoever.
You are my content, Jimbo. I told you that. You are it, buddy. You're not going to get rid of me. I'm going to watch you fail. He's just like Ernie. They'll never get rid of me. I don't know.
Look at my man boots. I'm proud of him.
He's going to Commonwealth to admit the recording and recording device.
I got it. Beyond.
Sustained.
Thank you.
Mr. Collins, this recording you made.
This recording is a lot better, guys. Pay attention. Tell me if you think he's going along with the joke.
Best you can with a microphone, so it's recorded in the record.
Jimbo, you are the joke. Jim Blob. How many more times is he going to play this? He's still playing it. Jimbo, you're a loner, son. You're a liar. I don't know if the judge is still alive or not. Hang on a minute, guys. I'm going to listen to something. La-di-dee, oh, Jim Blob.
Time to do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da. Hope I get away with it. Oh-do-da-day.
You were there, of course, present in conversation. Did I understand you to say, ask him a question at the beginning about pennies?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
I asked him if he still had the pennies.
And were these the pennies that you testified to earlier that he had brought to your house trying to sell you coins and things?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
Told me he did still have them.
And you said, and what did you tell him?
I said, how much do you want for them?
Then you go on in the conversation. One time you mentioned, does your brother know that you killed them?
Good night, Karen Spence.
What did he reply?
Thank
What
you.
did understand you to
I
say?
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, he knows. Yes. Did he talk to you about his brother calling him at 3 o'clock and at 3:40, and how he? I think what does he say there?
Sounded like he really loved me. That's what he said.
And then what did you tell him when he said his brother really loved him? What did you tell him?
I told him he does really love him. He's worried about it.
Anything else?
Yeah, you know, all he talks about is Shelby Lee. That's what he refers to him as.
He's worried about you. At some point we hear laughter. You recall what that was about?
It was about him killing the guy. You know, he responded with laughter.
There was a cough behind me. I didn't quite catch the laugh at the time. But,
he was describing what he did and then just laughed.
He thought it was a prank.
What was this about handcuffs? He talks about wanting you to get his handcuffs.
He was actually wanting Ernie to get him handcuffs. Ernie's new to the recovery age where he was at that point. At some point, he has.
Is that like Dog, the bounty man that goes out and finds people?
The bounty hunter, yes, sir.
Takes them back. We don't do that in Kentucky because we don't have that kind of bonds. In certain states, they find them to go about bond, like.
Ernie was a licensed bondsman in Tennessee.
So is that he wanted some handcuffs? What did he want with handcuffs?
He said, in the phone call, I told him, if you're going to take Ernie with you, can you not kill him? Just tie him up. And he said, yeah, if Ernie will give me the handcuffs. He said, I told him, if you give me the handcuffs, I won't have to kill nobody. Then I can handcuff him and tie him up.
Ernie knew his brother. He wouldn't give him handcuffs.
He would not give him the handcuffs.
What was the problem? Did he tell you about why he needed handcuffs?
Yes, he described not being able to tie Mr. King up. He said that he unsuccessfully tried zip ties. He said he broke 6 zip ties, and then he said he used a whole roll of duct tape, and that Mr. King broke through that. He said, if he had handcuffs, he could handcuff him and tie him up without any trouble.
I could hear one thing very clearly when he says, "You stupid son of a bitch." What was that about?
He was describing the crime scene, and he had left the room, I guess, and he said when I walked back in, and he was on his hands and knees.
Is this when he left the room to go get a hammer, he said?
Yes, he was going to try to find something to kill him with quietly. That's what he said on the tape.
So he comes back in.
And he said I think he said there's a shotgun in the floor, and he saw Mr. King on his hands and knees, and he said, "You stupid SOB," and kicked him in the face.
And I think what is it you say to him about the killing?
I'm sorry.
What did you say to him there near the end about the killing? The tape? Something about I didn't kill him, or what?
Yeah, I was just trying to get him to affirm that he killed him, again, and I said, he left you no choice but to kill him. And he would kill you if you didn't kill him. He said, yes, absolutely, pretty much. I think he said he sure would.
That's all the questions I had at this point, except I want to make sure that we're clear. The man on that recording, is he present in this courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Could you point him out, ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes, sir. Defendant in the white shirt.
What's his name?
Shelby Shell.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Cross.
Mr. Collins, you and Ernie Shell were friends, right?
Yes.
And you wrestled together, is that correct?
We wrestled on the same card, yes.
On the same card?
Yes. We never actually wrestled each other, but we wrestled many times on the same card.
About when did that happen?
2003 and 4.
And in 2013, February of 2013, your phone number was 606-309-0460.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Ernie's cell phone number was 606-515-7122. Is that correct?
Couldn't tell you. I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
In fact, you and Ernie shared a cell phone plan, all right?
I don't think so. Ernie may have borrowed one of my kids' phones. I've had the same phone numbers for years. I could look at my phone right now and tell you if that's one of my kids' numbers.
That's fine. So Ernie may have borrowed your kid's phone.
Possibly, yes. He still does sometimes.
And you and Ernie and Shelby were moving stuff out of your house. Is that right?
Moving stuff in the house.
In the house.
Yes, and that is my daughter Sarah's cell phone number.
Sarah's. Okay.
Hello, Arkansas. Good to have you.
So you were moving into a house. Is that the house that the insurance company was paying your rent?
Yes.
And they were paying that rent because your previous house burned down, right?
Yes.
And when that gun went missing, Ernie Shell was there too, right?
Yes.
And
All right, Winter Moon.
conversations in the basement of your, I guess, new house. It was you and Ernie and Shelby. Is that right?
We were the only three who were in there. Yes, Ernie was in and out.
And then sometime after that conversation, you went to Harlem and talked to Trooper Corner.
Yes, sir. Right.
And did I hear you correctly say you talked to Sheriff Martin?
He was present. All the interaction took place between myself, or my statement was with Mr. Corner. Marvin Lifford was present.
So in February of 2013, that 606-515-7122 number was a cell phone belonging to your daughter?
Yes.
And Ernie may have been using it?
Yes.
Okay. Now the police never searched your home, did they?
No, sir.
And they never took any one of these phones that they're talking about?
No, sir.
And they didn't tow your car, did they?
No, sir.
That's all the questions I have.
Can you redirect? With this excuse?
You may be recalled for rebuttal.
Right. Yeah, Arkansas.
Commissioner 10, you can stick around and get the call.
I'm scared to death of tornado. There's no humpback. You like that one, Jamie?
John Campbell calls Michael Ford.
All right.
Yeah, did you catch that? If I was a family member and he was laughing about that, like I would have had to have put a hurting on his ass for sure.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
It's sick. Disgusting. Anybody who hears that tape and don't think he's a murderer, I just don't understand.
Blue Moon of Kentucky, you ought to tell him about my Josh Shanks says hello.
2013 concerning death, murder, Ronnie King. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. He ain't getting rid of me.
Previously, from the stand, you had informed us that you'd spoken.
Oh, yes, I will.
Ernie Shell.
Watch and see, bro.
James Collins, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, having previously stated or informed us about your
Yeah, he's got trolls.
concerning
Comes over
Ernie
here.
Shell's statements, can you inform the jury about James Collins' statement to you? How that
He's got
happened,
trolls that's coming
and,
over here.
progress from there?
So go tell him our Blue Moon of, and tell him about my avatar. Josh Shanks says hello.
I got the information they had to provide. Allowed him to enter car and leave. At that time, I contacted State Police Post 7. I asked them to send a trooper to get a physical.
Oh, they're lying to him.
The house.
Oh, the stand they're going to have everyone put in jail and get Shelby out. Nobody said that, but Shelby deserves a voice. And that's what they're, that is, all they got's this trial, guys. Jimbo's my content. I'm showing how much he lies. So whenever you go back over and tell him,
That's what happened with the little statement that they said about the gun.
Blue Moon of Kentucky, go tell him I got Josh Shanks as my avatar.
Aaron Chase, yes, the lead detective.
Rather me, I've been up all night working on this from the time I got the information. Worked on through the night and everything I needed. She was driving. I contacted James Collins when I got near Corbin. He informed me of the recording that he had. I arranged to meet with him at the Love's gas station in Corbin underneath the underpass. I met with him, listened to the recording. He turned over the digital recording device to me. At that time, before leaving the parking lot, I contacted the State Police Post 10 Harlan. I think it was Sergeant or Lieutenant Jason Adams had him obtain an arrest warrant for Shelby Shell for the charges we're here on today. Contacted the special response team. Had them in the bushes watching Mr. Shell. Make sure I knew where he was at, where his whereabouts were. I went to the courthouse in Madison County in Richmond. I had a judge sign the search warrant. Once I was informed that the arrest warrants had been obtained in Harlan, notified Sergeant Pickrell, who formed SRT, and they placed him under arrest while I was on my way to the residence from Richmond to Berea. When I got to Berea, I read the search warrant to Mr. Shell and executed the search warrant, committed searching.
Maybe got back. I put it in the chat.
His car, his residence.
Okay, so we've been talking for a couple of days now about actions that you've undertaken throughout the course of this investigation.
Yes, prayers to
Tell us
victims, Shannon.
from
Please,
the
everybody
time,
pray.
way back when yesterday, you were telling us that you had arrived at the scene of the crime in Harlan County, Kentucky, to Ronnie King's residence, to the time when
Thank you, Miss Lee.
you're headed
You don't care,
to
you start that.
Richmond, right? Which you just stated that you've done. How long has that taken?
I got the call, I think, on the 18th, and went to Shelby Shell's residence on the 25th. So it was 8 days, 7, 8 days.
7, 8 days. Okay. So then let me ask you this question. From the time you get the information or speak to Ernie Shell and then subsequently James Collins, how long from those points?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch Beanie.
The end of what you just stated.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna get off from here. You guys have a good night.
Hours.
Uh,
I'm gonna go over here and watch Beanie.
Did the course of your investigation change when
I
you
love you guys. You guys are making
statements?
just making my heart so
First
warm.
and second.
Oh,
And subsequent to that, what about James Collins?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you first talked.
yeah. Well, I'll check out not the days
did the
first.
recording that was split your
You guys have a good
between
weekend,
James
good night.
Collins and Shelby Shell.
I'll see you guys
And
tomorrow
that
or
exists.
at some point.
So can you tell me how that occurred, when that happened? Because
Good night,
earlier you were
guys.
talking about speaking to individually Ernie Shell